Yeah, hold it right there. I know you have this question. What's next? Are we gonna do more? If more, how much more? And you must have also read about or heard about some more topics in Ansible. Or maybe you're just curious. But I know you must have asked this question. What's next? And I'm really glad you asked this question because we have a lot many things. Ansible is like this magic hat that magicians have, and no matter how many times you put your hands in that magic hat, something new comes every time. So as long as we have this Ansible magicians who keep improvising Ansible, we will keep getting new exciting things whenever we put our hand in that magic hat. So as you need to see more and more magic, even I am excited to show you. But it's not possible just with some one or two servers. I need to put a big show. And that's what it is. We will need something big, something more services, more systems interacting with each other. When we deploy such complex architecture, we will need more and more tricks up our sleeves. And as Ansible provides us a lot of tricks, we can use Ansible to deploy a complex web application architecture. And that's what you're seeing right now on the screen. Vprofile project is a very simple project. It's a web application, very simple web application, nothing too much complicated. The only complex thing we have here is its architecture. We have multiple services here. On the front, we have the load balancer from where the user sends the request. Like when you say google.com or facebook.com or whatever URL you hit on your browser, that URL is going to take you to some load balancer. So this classic load balancer represents that load balancer. Now the load balancer will redirect the request either on one web server or the other web server, or you can have n number of web servers. We'll need minimum 2 for high availability, but depends on the scale of the application, depends on the number of users you have, this may be more. So here you see 2 NGINX, 2 web servers, which will take the request and then will forward the request to an application server. Here we have TOMCAT. TOMCAT is an application server which is going to host Java application, our Vprofile web application. So the user will be logged in and will be presented with some screen that you see from the TOMCAT. But all that login information is stored right there in the database. And you don't have direct connection from here, from TOMCAT to MySQL. We have RABBITMQ, which is a queuing system, or you can say it's a broker which is going to queue the request before sending it directly to MySQL. If there are more and more queries for a similar data, then such data will be cached into a service like MEMCACHE. This is a database cache. So like you have cache in your browser, MEMCACHE is like that, a cache for the database. So here we have NGINX, TOMCAT, RABBITMQ, MEMCACHE and MySQL, 5 services. And we are going to write playbooks to deploy all the services from the scratch, configure them so that they interact with each other. And we're going to set all of this on AWS cloud. While we are doing this, we will need more and more things from Ansible. So far, whatever we have learned, yes, we can, with that information, with that knowledge, we can set up Vprofile application architecture on AWS cloud. But there are more things in Ansible that can improve the execution time, the style of writing the code, ease of writing it, and also reusing the same code again and again. So we have more things in Ansible. We're going to use Ansible for AWS related tasks, where we're going to launch EC2 instances, RDS, security group, elastic load balancer, key pair, EBS, etc. Then inventory provides us many more settings. We are going to see those settings. We're going to see different types of inventory, in-memory, dynamic memory, inventory. When you are on the cloud, you may need in-memory and dynamic inventory, which will get the IP or hostname information from the cloud. We have seen Ansible configuration previously, and we have seen defaults settings of it. There are more than default settings in Ansible. There are settings which can escalate your privilege and also set some global variable, which will be very helpful for us. We have used variables which are plain variables. In Ansible, we have a way to encrypt our variables also through Vault. In loops, we have more things. We have new loops that are coming up and provides us more than one item per iteration. So we're going to see these kinds of loops also. File modules, there are just lot many file modules, and again Ansible keep giving us new kinds of file modules. We're going to see how we can push, pull, sync the files, search and replace, and so many more things with the file modules, different file modules. In variables, we have lot many places where we can set up variables. We're going to see different kinds of variables also, their precedence. We'll see magic variables, special variables, and all those things what we are using so we can execute our playbook. But we have more things in playbook execution. Before executing, we can do syntax check, we can do dry run, we can improvise the execution time of the playbook, and we will see how all those things can be done. We also have tags in Ansible where we can name some set of tasks, or we can group tasks together with tags, and we can call this group of tasks. We can include them or we can exclude them by using this tags concept. When we are executing our playbook, there are so many times where you will feel like I should have handled this error better. Yes, playbook fails, we get errors, task fails, entire playbook fails. So we'll see how to handle those problems, how to handle the failure of task or a playbook, block and rescue, and there are so many more things, different ways how we can handle errors in Ansible. And there are so many more things, much more settings, modules we'll see along when you're going to deploy Vprofile application architecture. So already excited? Well, I am really excited. So let me get into AWS Cloud and show you how we can do all of this one by one. So enough talking now, let's get into action.